Yeah, basically, this is what most people think cardio is about, right? Right? And that's just wrong. Wrong. A lot of people, when they cut, they'll come to me after they add some fucking trainer. They'll be like, John, I like lost 20 pounds, but I still didn't have abs. Like, what do I do? Like, it's just, I had a bit of the lines showing, but like, what, how do I don't think it's in my genetics to be like that lean. And I'm like, no, no, no. Most of you who do not achieve your fat loss goals is because the thing you're doing right, your cut, you stop doing it, right? Most of the time, the reason you haven't hit your fat loss goals is you didn't stick to the diet, right? Oh, I don't have abs yet. You diet longer, right? And a lot of people think you have to change the game plan completely. No, what you do to lose 20 pounds is literally the formula to lose the harder weight, the harder fat that it is to lose, right? The last bit. But you shave more calories with a bit of cardio, right? You'll tweak your diet so your lifts stay strong, shit like that. Now,
That's completely right. Cardio is just simply a tool to help you burn more calories, but the longer you stick to your diet, the slower the progress is going to come. It's always easier to lose weight in the beginning. I always say that you might be losing 2 pounds a week, which is a really great rate for your first 20 pounds. And then when it slows down to 1 pound a week, or even sometimes half a pound a week, you start to think that maybe your plan's not working, or you need to switch it up or introduce something extreme, when in reality, that's just how it goes. The progress slows down, but at the same time, even just a little bit of progress, once you're down to that level, even just a little bit of progress makes a significant difference. So you might not be losing as much weight on paper, but behind the scenes, the magic is still happening. You just need to stick with it.
why I didn't make a okay. Have steroids. Yeah, well, we don't knock steroids here, okay?
Yeah, we do. Do not do steroids. Don't even think about it. You don't need them. You can achieve an amazing physique without steroids.
Yeah, true. Step one of Camp Canute is do steroids because, yeah, they're Greek. You're natural. Why are you saying that? Actually, you did it with Adderall, I think, which is still admirable what you did. Number one rule of cutting, the number one fundamental rule is cucking your appetite. Why my clients stayed with me long term is because I made the cutting part just a checklist. It wasn't suffering. There's digging phases when they suffer, but they didn't suffer too long, right? The number one thing you have to remember when cutting is it is psychologically traumatizing to the human. Whether you lose 10 pounds or 40, it's a trauma. That's why people who lose all this weight for 2 months straight put it back on. Because that mental trauma, that psychological state they're in, their brain has to overfeed for 2 months, usually even more, to compensate. So if you look at the year, in 1 year of dieting, the deeper you make that psychological trauma, the more you're going to want to overfeed.
A lot of people who do shows experience this firsthand in the most extreme ways. People rebound from the show and they can gain 20 to 30 pounds in a matter of days, sometimes overnight, which is really crazy. I myself had a similar experience 2 out of 3 times I competed. I had a little bit of a rough adjustment getting back to normal, not prep life. The diet, just the discipline in general took over everything, and it was a difficult transition afterwards, to say the least. And I completely understand what he's talking about. Even if you're not bodybuilding, if you're just trying to get on a diet and that diet is not sustainable, or it's extreme, or you're going through a really rough period, which sometimes happens. You know, you can do so many things to make your diet easier, but at the end of the day, it will come with some discomfort. That's just the name of the game. There's no need to sugarcoat that. So anyway, you're really going against your habits. You're almost going against your nature. We live in a society that thrives on overindulgence in every aspect, especially when it comes to food and drink. Any amount of discipline or control just goes out the window. It's ingrained in our society to enjoy these aspects of life to the absolute fullest. On a base level, you see everybody else around you doing the same thing, and that adds temptation to what's already so difficult to stick to. So this is really going against your nature, going against your habits, and that's why it's psychological, like he's saying.
Right? So number one rule of dieting to get peeled is, before anything that works more than drugs or anything, is cucking appetite, right? Meaning every time you're about to eat, let's say, if I told everyone here, have 3 scoops of protein before every meal, you will lose weight.
Yeah, completely. I love where he's going with this. These are just tips and tricks to help your appetite be less. Because think about it, if you drink something like a protein shake or anything, or even just a full glass of water before your meal, you're gonna be more full as opposed to not having anything before and letting your appetite go crazy.
You'll just look at the scale and be like, "Holy shit, John, this is working." It is impossible to keep gorging when you cuck your appetite with protein. Protein satiates you. It's filling. And now if I said,
Yeah, so he said it himself. Protein also is the most satiating macronutrient. So you can do this even with just water if you don't want to have a protein shake. But if you have a protein shake or some lean protein first before your main meal, before the carbs like the French fries and the mashed potatoes and the all of this other stuff that you actually want to eat, if you focus on your protein first, you're killing two, three birds with one stone. You're getting your protein in, you're helping to satiate your appetite, you're helping to build muscle as well. So this is a really great tip.
you have to, with every meal, you have to have 3 scoops of protein before the meal and a green apple and high fibrous foods like oatmeal. Protein and fiber are the most powerful combination of appetite cucking. It's so powerful that it's really the holy trinity of dieting is here that no one ever talks about. I might even write a book on this, right? The holy trinity of dieting is boom, right here. This is, when combined, they work together, they work well alone, but when combined, this is the holy trinity of fat loss, right? It's caffeine, right? Your black coffee will cuck your appetite. It will cuck it.
I've been saying this for so long. A cup of coffee a day, sometimes two in the morning, combined with fasting, is the ultimate tool to keeping my appetite down so that I can enjoy more satisfying meals later in the day and get more done during the actual day itself. So definitely, I know it's not for everybody. It is somewhat of an acquired taste. Forget all the nonsense cream and frappuccino junk that everybody goes for. That's not even coffee, that's sugar and water. You need to go for real black coffee. Just sip on it. You don't need to chug it. Just sip on it. It'll do wonders for keeping your appetite down. And it's not something I've noticed I really build a tolerance to, like how people build a tolerance to pre-workout. I don't feel like I really build a tolerance to coffee. It always hits every single day.
Right? 2, high fiber will cuck your appetite, and high protein, not after your meal, right? Because then you're fucked, right? Before your meal. Cucking appetite means you're always satiated with lower calories. So that first 20 pounds is going to strip off fast, and there's no cardio to this process.
Another way to go about this is by introducing more volume into your foods. Obviously, focusing on a high protein diet is the best way to go about it, but you can also add more greens into your diet as well. You get a lot of fiber from that, which is great. But low calorie kind of veggies, greens can also help you get more food for less calories. There's so many tips for this, so many hacks, but that's just one that came to mind.
The hardest part of learning cooking appetite is nobody wants to do it. They say, "Oh, I can't. The food doesn't taste good, John. I had a protein shake." It's not supposed to taste good.
As as easy or simple as these tips are, it's still something you have to actually do at the end of the day. You still have to follow through. You still have the discipline and the will to stick to the diet. You're still going to feel the effects of dieting. It's not going to completely take them away. It's going to help. It's going to help you get by, but it's not going to cure all your cravings. It's not going to cure having or being hungry by any means.
Right? Your food will not taste good when you're full. When you're hungry, it's delicious. That's the point, that you're not going to gorge anymore, right? So I'm thinking of my male clients, right? I would start them with the Trinity, and I didn't call it the Trinity back then. Their results were so freaking scary the first month that they're like, "Holy shit, John, you're actually really good at this." I'm like, trust me when I say the basics get you jacked.
The basics get you jacked, ladies and gentlemen. That is the name of the game. Anyway, I'm going to cut this video here. See you in the next part, which I'm going to film right after dinner. So I'll be right back.